white it gets. That means we believe America will turn into an all-out race war. We've been saying that for years, and the more non-white it gets, the more riots there's going to be. And by the year 2025, the white race is going to be a minority in this country. That means bigger riots and more blacks. It means more chaos. And we'll be ready to take our country back when it happens. Skinhead's a 24-hour soldier. Yeah. He wears his boots 24 hours a day. We're just new SS with the Fourth Reich.
Hitler was very successful with his Hitler Youth movement. Most of the National Socialists that he recruited into the brown shirts were young when they were recruited. And I do not apologize for working primarily with the young. Our skinhead ranks are filled, brimming over with people of a young age. When you have youth, you have restlessness. When you have youth, you have impatience. When you have youth, you tend to get somebody that wants to solve all the world's problems very quickly. I pray that these little ones will be kept from harm, and you would grant us victory and success on this march. May our people wake up from their sleep and see the error of their ways and stand up for the white race. We're going to show them that this is our state, and those nigger-loving race traitors can go move to San Francisco or somewhere else where they might feel more welcome among its large gay population. But here in Alabama, this is going to be a white man's land. I think that once we become such a factor in Alabama, that the blacks and the other races will probably exit us the state at the rate that the Jews did in 33 when they saw Adolf Hitler elected as chancellor of the German people. We want the broken toys. Send us your broken toys and we'll fix them for you. The kids that received a lot of material things in life, they had a car at 16, a stereo in their room, a TV in their room, but their father never gave them love. We have people that we recruited in our ranks that were abused by their parents. They run away because they could not stand living at home. They were living on the streets. They have no food, no shelter. We go to them and approach them and we say, look, we'll feed you. Come in here and we'll take care of you. You're white, you're of our people. You have a home now.
All right.
Happy birthday, Hitler.
And Shalom. All right, first and foremost, if I get started, we give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakwadash. I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, GMS, who grew well and teach well, being good example to Israel. All right, my dear elect. I want to say peace and blessings to the hope elect on the four corner, pushing the truth and sincerity. All right, that great song that you brought in the bar. As you just saw this video, more truth is coming out. See, these devils at the end. So a lot of things being exposed that the scriptures have said concerning the end times. All right, that this devil will be revealed for who he truly are as he tried to hide. All right, but now he can't hide it no more. All right, we been knew I was something up with you devils. All right, but we just couldn't find the connection. Why? Because the connection lies in the scriptures. Not in the history books, not in these textbooks, not in magazines, all right, not these novels, all right. A library is full of books, all right. Libraries are full of books, but the one only true book that exposed this devil for who they truly are is the Bible, all right. That's why it's written in Isaiah 34:16, all right. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. All right, none of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. Because guess what? Truly everything that exists in the world, all right, is in the scriptures. Whether it's righteousness or whether it's wickedness, it lies within the scriptures and foretold. All right, as history, prophecy, all right, deal with present, past, and future. Now, we see, and we just heard these devils, and guess what? This ain't nothing new. These devils still do it today. They still have their fucking rallies today to show you the hatred. But where do that hatred come from? All right? And this will give you rest when you find out where the hatred come from and why do it exist. So, let me get this in Genesis 27:41. It says that Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And that's why, on the side note, all right, him and his MOTB, all right, because everything that Esau trying to set up, all right, with this technology, we're going to have it on a spiritual level. All right? So that's the blessing. Servants forever. All right? And it says, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning, but my father is at hand. And then there would I slay my brother Jacob. And that's the same perpetual hatred. All right? But guess what? It's something that was embedded in them. Because guess what? Before Esau had the perpetual that hatred towards Jacob, Cain had it towards Abel. And what Cain do? Cain slew Abel. It's the same spirit. Why? Because the Most High Yahweh have said it. This is Genesis 3:15. It said, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman. Because he talking to the serpent. All right, and the serpent with a fucking snake. You never seen a talking snake. Here it is, 2026. All right, you never seen a fucking talking snake, man. All right? The only thing you get close to an animal is talking, and it's a bird, it's like a parrot. All right? Other than that, you ain't never seen no fucking talking snake. You know? And it said, between thee and thy seed, and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And then we're going to go into that word enmity. All right? Because you wonder why these so-called white people hate us. All right? This is enmity. Look at the definition. This is enmity. It said deep-seated, all right? Often mutual feeling of intense hatred, ill will, right? Animosity towards someone lasting for a long time. All right? To this day, that same hatred from the beginning is still, all right, circling it. Right? This is, that's called, all right, deep-seated. Like, it's deep. And then these people in the world like, I wonder why these white people hate us. The Lord put that between us. For you to see who is Jacob and who is Esau, all right, in the times, all right, of prophecy. That Jacob gonna be going through what they going through, and Esau gonna be doing what he doing. Esau is ruling, Jacob is in captivity. All right, but this is Ezekiel 35. Go back to that enmity. This is Ezekiel 35:5. All right, and it said, because thou have a perpetual hatred. That's the enmity. All right, long, what's that? Long time, long lasting. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and have shed the blood of the children of Israel. Who Israel? Israel was Jacob. His name was changed to Israel after he got to the angel and became a prince of power. By the force of the sword. Why? Because there was the enmity the Most High Yahweh put in them, but it transpired through Cain and Abel, Esau and Jacob, and now you have today's so-called blacks and whites. See, by the sword in the time of their calamity, and in the time their iniquity had an end to this day. All right, I'm going to just play one more video. Check this out.
Feel generally about the freedom riders and groups like that coming through Mississippi?
I think they just asking for trouble.
Oh, I think they should have stayed where they was at, just trying to stir up trouble, all it is. They should have stayed where they belong.
If people, the public, would let the police force handle the situation, I believe that in Mississippi, integration would not be permitted.
I don't like it.
Why not?
No, I just don't think it's right. If there ain't people in Mississippi ready for that, then they'll say they are.
You agree on this?
I think that we were better off before it started.
Well, we all think it was pretty good. There wasn't much trouble. They just come in and they just shipped it right out as soon as they started trouble.
How do you feel about the Freedom Riders coming to Mississippi in the first place?
Well, I don't think none of us like it. I just think we ought to have open season on all of them.
What do you mean by open season?
Well, just to chase them all out. Well, I don't know. It's not going to last too long before the people down here get a little antagonized with it, and they're going to take it into their own hands,
The South has a large nigger population. In our state, it's about 42% of the total. And anyone with two eyes in his head and roughly normal vision can look around him and see that there's a vast and permanent difference between the white and colored people. That, as Abraham Lincoln so wisely said a number of years ago, would forever prohibit them from living on terms of equality in the same society. That, just in a nutshell, is the reason.
How do you, as a Southerner, justify your position, a Negro citizen, he pays taxes, sometimes he votes, that he is not your equal?
I don't know equality in the... I'm really not sure how you mean equal.
Well, I mean equal in every sense of the word.
Well, equality in every sense of the word is obviously a myth. There are no people who are equal, no two people. There are no two races who are equal.
The separate restrooms, the separate lunch counters, things of this type, the separate schools. How do you justify this if you think of him as an American citizen like you are?
Well, I don't see that there's any special connection. Why should the Negro feel any more discriminated against than the white man for associating with his own kind? White people who are segregated don't seem to resent it, and I don't think most niggers resent it. They seem to prefer that.
They do seem to prefer that. Outwardly, they have shown little interest in the battle against integration. There were no Mississippi Negroes among the Freedom Riders. Jackson Negro College students have attempted to use the white library, but even this drew no positive support from the rest of the Negro community.
How do you feel?
It's Obadiah 1 and 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So Lord willing, y'all brothers to edify next time. Shalom. My brother Bob Rock. May the Lord team bless y'all morning.